A lot of headlines circulating the Los Angeles Rams, who we are still possibly petitioning to send back to St. Louis unless they find ways to score points, hopefully this weekend against the Seattle Seahawks. I am not a Rams fan. However, being Los Angeles my adopted second city, I have a soft spot for them. There's a football team here, not named the USC Trojans, not named the UCLA Bruins, even though people here still care way more about those two colleges' football teams than they do about the Los Angeles Rams, but that could change. That could change for a couple reasons. But until we get into a little more about the Rams, first we have to discuss what Keyshawn Johnson, one of the best trash talkers in the NFL when he, in his day, had to say about LA Rams coach Jeff Fisher and the pick of Jared Goff. The headline reads, Fisher was forced to draft Jared Goff. Keyshawn Johnson said, quote, and this is from the Stephen A. Smith Show, also picked up by John Breach of CBSSports.com. For my outside people and the inside people that I know with the Rams, that wasn't the choice that Jeff Fisher really wanted. I think he was basically forced to draft Jared Goff. Bleacher Report goes on to say, and this is from Mike Sciarri, if Johnson's sources are correct, then Fisher's disagreement with management may have had something to do with his decision to go with both Case Keenum and Sean Mannion over Goff to start the 2016 campaign. Well, yes and no. So maybe because you're in Los Angeles, layman's terms, you'd want to make a splash in a new city by making a big draft day move or a trade ahead of the draft to pick up a quarterback and give him the chance to, really lead the new team, right? Well, here's the problem with that assessment. It seems like historically Jeff Fisher likes to nurture his young quarterback and make him at least sit out for a couple weeks or usually a full season. Because as you'll note from Michael Silver at NFL Network, Fisher had been targeting Goff, as most teams had for their top 5 of their draft board, since February, since the end of the Super Bowl. And he added that through a series of tweets regarding Fisher's decision, Fisher philosophically believes it's better for young quarterbacks not to be thrown into the fire. It worked out well in former Tennessee Titans quarterback Steve McNair's case, and Goff came from a system that was a not pro style, as did Broncos quarterback Paxton Lynch. It makes sense not to throw him in. Fisher believes that this is the best for the kid. That's it. Rams and Fisher still love Goff right now. Obviously they're struggling. That needs to change ASAP, and it may. I would, and I know this might be the opposite of what a true fan would want to see, and I'm not a true fan of the Rams, I wouldn't want to throw Jared Goff into the fire. I think we've seen enough cases by now of what happens when you nurture young quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre did not get along. Favre was not a mentor to Aaron Rodgers, yet Rodgers still watched one of the better quarterbacks to ever play the game play every single day. And when he finally got his chance to play, even though it was many more years than he would have wanted, it made him more prepared in a pro-style system because people forget you're still taking the same snaps, the same reps in practice every day. You're still going through the same training camp, and at the tip of a hat, an injury, you have to be ready to jump in the game because this is football, and that happens regularly. Look at the most recent case. Jimmy Garoppolo has been Brady's backup for a few years now. And the Patriots system now obviously favors any pocket-present quarterback who can throw with some accuracy, especially in the dip and dunk offense. However, you look at what Garoppolo did, and you kind of have to say to yourself, maybe we shouldn't throw Jared Goff into the fire. Maybe we should have the Rams play with Case Keenum, even though it's not an exciting brand of football with Case Keenum under center, and have Jared Goff spend a year on the sideline. Maybe next year he'll come in, because it seems like Jeff Fisher is going to be the Rams coach for at least 3 more years, which ties into the second half of the story, in which the Rams coach Jeff Fisher reportedly getting a 3-year contract extension. ESPN's Inside the Huddle, an 85-year-old going on 95-year-old NFL analyst, John Clayton, not trying to be mean, just it's pretty amazing the man's still commentating on football. I like John Clayton. It's just a joke. John Clayton was reporting that he's going to get a 3-year extension. They're going to make it part of a press conference for Michael Brocker's extension, and they're going to put it towards the bottom. Now, people are going, oh my God, Jeff Fisher staring down the barrel of a 7-9 season. Unless you have Case Keenum and you play like you did against the 49ers, then you're staring down the barrel of a 0-16, 2-14-esque season. I don't think this is necessarily a bad thing. I say that because there's not really many good coaches in the NFL. I wanted to do another clip entirely different from this, but in general, like there's 5-6 great NFL coaches, and everybody else seems extremely replaceable, except then you realize that who are you going to replace him with? So I get it. There's probably some offensive and defensive coordinators out there that can either be promoted within the Rams organization or on other teams that you can target for next year if you're thinking of getting rid of Jeff Fisher. But if he's going to sign a 3-year extension, at least be patient to see what he does with Jared Goff. If he nurtures him correctly, what if Jared Goff could become a competent starting QB? I use competent too much. What if Jared Goff can lead the Rams offense? He does have a weapon in Todd Gurley, Tavon Austin. You know, if you have at least an accurate and a quarterback who's willing to take a shot downfield with some weapons at your disposal, you already have a pretty good defense. I mean, at least the past few years, it's been that case. So I'm on Jeff Fisher's side. I'm on the 7-9 bullshit side. I side with Jeff Fisher. I side with what Jeff Fisher's thinking. I think Keyshawn Johnson's comments about him being forced to draft Jared Goff could possibly be true, but I firmly believe that even if they are completely true, I'm not sure exactly what else Jeff Fisher would have wanted to do besides get more players. And they got Pharaoh Cooper, also a wide receiver that they picked up, so we'll see what happens with that as well. As always, comment below. Lots of Los Angeles Rams news. They welcome the Seahawks at the first game back in Los Angeles, which is at the Coliseum. Back the Rams. Plus 5.5 points at home. Don't use recency bias. Yes, they looked terrible against the 49ers, and the Seahawks didn't look that great either. However, Russell Wilson a little bit banged up. The Rams defense and the Rams against the Seahawks in the past few years have been close-knit games. It screams that the Seahawks win by 5 points. 20-25. 25-20. Seahawks, if you need a prediction. If I'm wrong, rip me for it. That's why I'm on YouTube. At JasonRumer91, like, favorite, subscribe to the channel. It goes a long way. We'll see you next time.